Hello, 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 and welcome back to our Icenia Rises campaign. I am Ben the Bold, and you can see that we are no longer the little tribe of Icenia, but instead the great, the glorious, the empire of Albion. Albion will rise and conquer all after all. So, in the last episode, we went to war, and it was actually a relatively pain-free war. We didn't take a ton of losses, although, as you can see, we are losing a lot of men to attrition every month. That's okay, because as soon as this ticks over to 100, we are going to take a military tradition called living off the land. That's going to give us army tradition down by 15%. Considering that we are doing so much, and I mean so much fighting in low supply areas in Gaul and out to the east in the Russian steppes, as well as in Germania, that attrition is really doing a number on us. So we are just doing whatever we can to help alleviate that situation. A couple things that I want to do. First of all, I want to start moving around my men, so that they are not taking as much attrition. How about you go anywhere? How about you go to here? I'm going to disband these mercenaries when I get the chance. Go ahead and unpause that, and disbanded. Didn't mean to have them anyway. Let's see. Where can you go? How about up here? You can go up here. Again, I'm working. I have the... Well, it's almost over, but I have the Omen power to increase my monthly civilization change. That is beneficial because, well, the more civilized the provinces are, the the higher supply limit I have, and just, it's killing me out here in the east, these low supply limit places. For instance, well, it's actually getting a little bit better, but like this little city here is one of the few places that I can actually sit an army down. Speaking of that city, it is almost completed building. I should mention I'm building a new city here. Let's check out our inventions. Anything good? How about heavy infantry cost down 10%? That's fine. And Danny, finally I can get this military tradition, and let's go ahead and do living off the land. Are we sure? Yes, I'm struggling with the attrition factor. Now, I should note that the living off the land, it does not, like, increase the supply limit or decrease my supply consumption. So I still will suffer attrition. It just won't be as much. It'll be 15% less, which is going to be somewhat helpful. Let's go ahead and continue with this monthly civilization gain. I think that that is an admirable one. One of the upsides about fighting this recent war is that we have done a number on the defensive league that had been created, basically to oppose us. Yeah, we've taken 3 of its members out. So, yeah. Good stuff all around, good stuff all around. Looks like this little province is struggling with some food issues. It's actually gaining 16 food per month, so that's pretty decent indeed. I guess I'll leave the fortress there. I think I'll leave those forts as well. Just making sure that I am in a good spot fort-wise. When I get the chance, I think I'm going to get another trade route in Venta. After all, we are actually losing food per month in Venta. And I think Venta needs some fish. Do none of you produce fish? I think maybe Breno Dunham did at one point, maybe? But yeah, I think Venta needs some fish. So let's go ahead and hit this Entice Business Investments. Get another trade route going there. Let's also continue to build some roads in Icenia. I think I'm going to stop building road for a second, move you to Venta. Let's have a nice road that goes all the way from Venta to the north, probably this province. Linden? Not London, Linden. I love it. Let's move our navies back into a more central location. You can go to Dover. You can go to London. Our navies are important, but honestly, we own the channel. And soon we will own the entire Channel coast as soon as we can defeat These barbarians, they are in that relatively hefty defensive league, although that defensive league is looking a little bit weaker for the wearer at the current moment. We can get 422,000 manpower. That is amazing and awesome. I think we're like 2 wars away from going to war with Rome, trying to push them back out of Gaul. Gaul is not their territory. Italy is their territory. They can have the Mediterranean, but we own Gaul. We are the great, I'm going to go ahead and say the great barbarian empire of Albion, and we deserve to have all of the old barbarian lands and civilize them for ourselves because, well, Venta is extremely civilized. It is 96 civilization value. There's nowhere else on Earth that can compete with that right now, I do believe. However, a lot of our kind of far-flung provinces, well, they can only dream of being as civilized as Venta. You know, your civilization value is 27. That's not terrible, and that supply limit is inching upward as a result of the increased civilization value. Let's go ahead and when I get enough political influence, I'm probably going to start trying to push Pops into... I'm going to change this to be the province capital. Oh, unfortunately our emperor gets Galt. Oh, well. Oh, do you know what I had forgotten to do? Let us... Is our emperor about to die? No, he's not. So, let's go ahead and take our son and send him adventuring. I'm going to send him adventuring. That is going to basically create this mercenary stack. I could hire it, send him off to fight in some wars. No one's going to hire him. Oh well. National freeman happiness could be good. Morale recovery. Ooh, tribute income. How much money am I getting for my one little tribute? So they would give me just a little bit more per month. I'm not... It's definitely not worth the invention cost to get my tribute income up. Trireme discipline could be useful, but I don't think anyone's going to challenge my navy, at least not until I fight one of the more civilized nations, and even then, I doubt they send a huge naval force up into the English Channel. I don't really see a reason for my navy to leave the English Channel. As long as I can contain local naval superiority here, we should be in good shape. Are you part of this fancy defensive league? You are. Cohort recruit speed could be nice, although not necessarily something I need. Morale recovery is good, of course. Monthly loyalty is good. I don't really seem to be struggling from loyalty anymore. Alright, so this... Ooh, Albion gets 1,661 gold. Or I could get 10 stability. Ooh, this is actually a tough one, because I do gain 100 gold per month. That's only like 16 months worth of gold. So I am actually going to take the stability. Stability is worth its weight in gold. Now, unfortunately, one of our pretenders died. I'm not actually too sad about it, but that does free up these 36,000 men that he had raised. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to split it in half, because that is too large of a force to be successful on the mainland. And I'm going to give it some generals and move them towards mainland Europe. Yeah, you as well. Actually, I'm just going to have you come down here and train. I should go ahead and put a bunch of my armies on drill. It's of course going to increase my costs dramatically to have all these armies on drill. But while increasing my costs dramatically, it's also going to increase the amount of military experience I get. Let's go ahead and fabricate a claim on you. I'm thinking the province of Osmania. We are going to let our aggressive expansion tick down a little bit, although it's actually ticking down quite a bit. We seem to be in a good spot. Good spot indeed. Is this import route done yet? Yes, it is. Let us go ahead and get some fish from Frisia. That's going to, once again, put our food in order. And let's go ahead and, in this case, build some more academy buildings. That's just going to speed up our pop conversion speed to a truly ridiculous rate. 54%. Very good. And when I get the political influence, I'm going to hit this button again because the promoting business investments helps me with pop capacity. So alright, looks like once again we have some barbarians at the gates. I bet that they will do exactly what those other barbarians did and just completely ignore my fort system here. We will have to see, though. You are immediately going to jump into action to go fight them. Let us find that little 15,000 man stack of cohorts. I'm actually going to take you off military drill and instead put you on build roads again. I think we need lots and lots of good roads, so I'm going to have you come all the way here first, and I'll have you build a road from there up to Calais. Let's get this road network a-going, y'all. Speaking of road network, I believe we have 10,000 men here who are ready to build roads up to Linden. I think I'm going to hold off on the manpower. I have plenty of manpower at the moment. Yep, so they actually do exactly what I was worried that they would do, and those barbarians just bypass our fort zone of control completely. It's going to be okay because we're actually going to get our 10,000 men there to deal with them in time, but still, that is quite annoying. I guess I'll just say on with the celebrations. That's annoying. They should not be able to do that. Let's look. Zone of control. They came down. They took this first. If I'm reading this right. Oh, and in dadgummit, they did decrease the civilization value there. Oh well. It'll be alright. But if I'm reading this right, if they go here, they shouldn't be able to leave the zone of control. They should have to go into the fort to take the fort if they want, or go back the way they came. But instead, they just went right through the zone of control. Do barbarians just not follow the rules? Does the AI just not follow the rules? What's the question here? And in fact, it makes me want to go ahead and build another fortress right there. Do I need another fortress right there? I shouldn't, but indeed, it looks like I do. Trade away some livestock, make me feel better about myself. Alright, these 15,000 men are ready to start building some roads. Let's build a road to Calais. These roads are still looking good. Today's episode might just be mostly a road building episode. No. We'll do something fun. Speaking of, we should look. I don't really want bleed them dry as my governor policy here. That's not going to help anyone love me. And, well, I am me as emperor. I need to be loved. I think it would be better if we just did cultural assimilation. Let's get some Iceni pops in the region, please. And you can have cultural assimilation as well. We are increasing our civilization value by 0.18 per month. I believe that's all across the country we are doing that. So let's come out here towards the east. Yeah, 0.18 per month. I also want to continue to colonize, so I might think about doing that. Of course, do I still have that problem with my holdings? Yeah, so I have a holding here, and I need a bunch of slaves to keep track of that. But I'll go ahead and colonize there. And then, can I move any pops there? No, because I need all those slaves elsewhere. So, let us think about moving some Iceni slaves all the way across the empire. One, can I colonize either of these two places yet? No. So I need some... Let's move some Iceni slaves to here. Let's see if I can just do that. And colonize. Just because I don't like seeing that weird border gore. Can I do the same thing here? You have a high population. None of you are Iceni, though. Can I move any Iceni slaves here? No. So, I need to find a place that has a bunch of Iceni. Hey, there's a bunch of Iceni here. In this province. So, let's go ahead and try to move as many Iceni slaves to this location as I can. Was this 5 Iceni slaves? Yes, please. Hold on, I'll deal with this event. Oh, looks like we gained Mintagra. That's not great. Alright, that should be enough Iceni slave pops, right? So now I will move them. Ooh, I need a governor here. Let's go ahead and hire you. Your loyalty's ticking down, your loyalty's ticking up. I'll hire you. That easy. So we have to move these slaves across the border of the territory. So we'll move... I guess we might as well only move 10 of them. And then let's move you to a bordering territory. Move those Iceni slaves. Now we'll move them across the border of this province. I promise I don't have to just chain it like this completely. Oh, I'll go ahead and take that money as well because the Pretender gains some loyalty. I'm using a lot of this money to move around slaves. Soon I'll use it to colonize, although that stability is quite good. Plus the Pretender gaining 20 loyalty would be even better. Alright, I'll have him gain 20 loyalty. Alright, someone lost the inflammation trait. Cool. Don't know who you are. Don't really care. Alright, now, once I move them across the border of this province, I'll be able to start moving these slaves a little bit faster. The way I understand it, and correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but if I want to move, like, from my Iceni slaves from this province to this province, I need them to be bordering the province, jump them over into this new province, and then I can move them anywhere in this province I want. So what I had to do was I had to go to Felicia, jump them over the border to Icenia, move them to a border with the next province, Oriena, move them across the border. I guess I could have actually, in hindsight, moved them straight from Oriena to here. But now, when I move them to Arsonis, I can go move pops. Let's move those Iceni slaves. And now I can pick all the way over here in tandem. And I can move the Iceni slaves all the way across the province. Now, from tandem, I move them across the border. Let's see, in this case, it would be more beneficial to move them to Gala. So let's go ahead and do that. Also, here's a real pet peeve of mine. When I'm moving pops, alright, watch this. Over here, I have 12 Druidic Iceni pops. These are the ones I want to move. I'm going to hit the button, hit the button, hit the button. And then when I get down... Oh, well, hold on. Ooh, this isn't good. Corrupt Governor of Caledonia. That's one of my... Alright, so she's going to lose 20 loyalty. I'm going to lose 15 political influence. Or the province of Hibernia, however you say that, loses 20 loyalty Currently at 100. It's going to be ticking up, though. I don't really want the governor to lose that much loyalty. I also don't want to lose the political influence. Alright, the province is going to lose some loyalty. Alright, back to what I was saying. Now, watch what happens. As I come down, when it gets down to 1, now all of a sudden, the pops that I've wanted to move have changed. So it's now Zalmoxian Iceni, and the one that I wanted to move, which was up here, the Druidic Iceni, has just randomly shifted down. It's annoying. It's something I've been dealing with this whole time. We can watch it happen again. I'll move my pops here. Here we go. Druidic Iceni. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that time it didn't do it. Don't know why I didn't do it, but that time it didn't. Where did I move them to? Alright, they're right there in Ara. So now I'll move them to either of those. Didn't do it that time. I'll move it all the way to here, although... yeah. Move them across the border. And I accidentally moved an extra slave because it popped over again. Now I'll be able to move them here and start the colonization process again. Alright, so let's see. What are my colonization goals? Looks like once again I have a barbarian problem. Let's check out our forts. So, unfortunately, our zone of control is not going to do any good. I do think these 15,000 troops are coming to take care of it. At least the zone of control keeps the civilization value from being destroyed upon entering of barbarians into their country, or into the countryside, so that's good. Go ahead and let this play out. Let's look at my colonization goal. I want these 3 provinces. Are they all in different... oh, that's annoying. They're all in different provinces. Oh well. Really, I just want to keep pushing my borders farther east. I did originally say that I wanted to reach the Scythians. It doesn't look like I'll have that opportunity, as Scythia is now just a 1-territory minor nation. Looks like we've had a death. Let's go ahead, put a new governor in charge. You're great, but you lose a lot of loyalty. Instead, I'm going to go with you. Plus, she gets local citizen output 10% if governor. Sounds good to me, although there probably aren't a ton of citizens in this province. Actually, there are none. We'll have to try to remedy that, maybe by building a city. In fact, I think that this is a prime location to build a city. It's right there on the river. I'm sure it would be lovely to visit in the summertime. And let's go ahead and keep colonizing. And we'll move some pops here. And this is just what we do. I wish there was a more organic way of making, of colonizing happen. Or maybe I just wish the game didn't incentivize you so much to do it in the least organic way possible. Of just loading up a bunch of slaves into a caravan, marching them through very low population settlements, and saying, hey, you're mine now. Looks like our claim has come through, which is, of course, good. But that's also not what I'm really worried about right now, because instead I'm... It looks like you have steppe horses as well. Oops. What I'm worried about right now is colonizing. So let us continue to colonize. I do want to push more pops out west, especially to these places that make steppe horses. Because I want to have a surplus out of steppe horses. Having a surplus of steppe horses is going to be very useful because, one, I can push it towards Venta. Also, there's an achievement for trading one of each resource of each strategic resource into your country. I don't know if I'm going to get there in this playthrough because I would need elephants and camels. Although it looks like I am trading with Carthage anyway, maybe I could actually trade some elephants with them, and then all I would need is camels. This is kind of a tough achievement to get when I am so far removed from, you know, some of the strategic resources, such as camels, which, you know, are going to be found, you know, in the deserts, and elephants, which are found in Africa as well as out, you know, here. So it's really difficult for me to get access to some of those resources. It's really more of an achievement built for, like, Carthage or Egypt, but, or even Macedon. We did get a religious advancement. Our Omen power is going to be even more powerful, plus we get an invention to make it more powerful. I'm probably going to get that province loyalty up. We also need a new governor here. You know what? I'll risk it. I'll put you in charge. Is that going to increase your loyalty? No, it's actually going to make you worse. Well, that's a shame. Will you at least die quickly? I don't know. Maybe I'll bribe her in a little while to keep her in line. Looks like this road network has finished. Let's go ahead and maybe build a road to Ireland, maybe? Sure, why not? Let's have these horse archers build a road to there. Nope, let's have them stop. Let's have them simply go to this province and then build a road northward. Looks like we're going to gain a bunch of money. That's good. I'm going to use that money to colonize. I will say, and it's just a minor thing, but I love and this is just me, I know some people may not like it, some people may find it annoying, but I love the noise that this game makes when you click a button. Listen to this. Isn't that just so satisfying? And of course, I will just continue to colonize. But at least I get to hear this nice little noise. It's very satisfying. I will say sound design is great. I think all the various noises that the game makes when you hit a button actually sound really cool. You can feel free to disagree with me on that one, but I love it. And for the most part, I love this game too. There are some things that are a little wacky, like the colonization mechanic. And I know that this is not how the developers intended for colonization to be done. They probably intended it for it to be a much slower process, but when you give me easy access to do this in this way, like, why wouldn't I? Because it's long and kind of boring? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Dun 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 dun. I love the music. Sounds very epic, although I'm not exactly doing a very epic thing. Dun dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. Just continue to move these pops back and forth around the bend. Where will we end? Nobody knows. I am going to go ahead and continue on with that monthly civilization value. Let's also come back here, build a road up to the north for quick access for any of my armies. Let's go ahead and split this army in half. It looks like our disloyal general has finally passed away. And I think the 36,000 men is just a little too hefty for some of these provinces, these low supply limit provinces. Let's also go ahead and drill these armies once we give them commanders. And we need to give a lot of people commanders. I guess we've had a lot of people die, unfortunately. Let's pause colonization for a second. Let's think about our next area of expansion. I've already fabricated a claim on this province. Ooh, something's happening. Something big is happening, and I haven't been paying attention. Alright, so Rome is not at war. You are at war with a bunch of people. You are not at war. You are. Alright, you have a lot of allies. You've got a lot of allies. You also have a lot of allies. If I declared war... Alright, there definitely seems to be something big happening here. It looks like all of the barbarian nations are fighting for their own regional dominance. Of course, they will all fall under the Albion boot at some point. But for now, they seem to be fighting each other. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. Speaking of, let's go ahead and... Ooh, we're once again losing food here. Looks like I might need to import another... Oh, check out that. If I, when exporting vegetables, which I already am, move slaves cost goes down by 10%, which is pretty much all I'm doing in this whole colonial thing. And when I have a surplus in the capital, which I guess I don't at the moment, my move slaves cost goes down by 20%. So if I want to optimize my slave moving around, I will get another trade route in the capital and import some veggies. I'm all for that, all for that. Let's go ahead and hit this colonize button again. It's going to move us into a brand new region, which means we're going to need a new governor soon. I'll go ahead and hire a new governor. Ooh, you are very nice. Maybe I should actually put you in charge of somewhere a little bit more integral to the... to our country. Instead, I just kind of have you out here on the far-flung edges. This is not exactly a prestigious governorship, although any governorship in the Empire of Albion is prestigious in its own way. And this is going to be the last one that I can colonize for at least the next little bit, because I'm going to go ahead and take Ish here. And then I'm going to move my pops back up here. do. Keep on moving the pops. Moving the pops. Moving the pops. Alright, and I will have to wait until the 14th of July, so about 6 months before I continue this colonization train. Of course, now you can just see Albion is just slowly expanding. I one day might even reach Parthia, with just the longest, most narrow empire ever. So let's continue building some roads. Let's give you a general. Someone decent, please. Unfortunately, our decent generals don't really like me too much, so we'll give it to Urka here, and you will build... You will not build any roads. You will, I want you to be building some roads, but where do I want them? Where do I want them? I'm going to have you come down to this junction first, and we'll decide from then where. Veterans get their due. Looks like that first option is the best option. We'll go ahead and take it. And I know that this has mostly been a road building and colonization episode, but that is where I'm going to have to call it quits for today. We'll go ahead and export some stuff to Carthage. I know nothing too super exciting, although we... Oh, and we finally have a city here at the end. Nothing super exciting, but it all is all very necessary to grow the Albion nation, the Albion name across the map. In the next episode, we are going to look to go to war again. Specifically, I'm thinking with someone in Gaul. We'll have to see how these alliance webs work out, though. I hope you do decide to tune in, and I will see you on the next one.